All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know we have a light crowd aside from our presenters and facilitators, but hopefully more people are able to join. And if not, this is being recorded. So those who are unable to join will have an opportunity to watch at a later date. So with that, my name is Karyn MacRae. I'm Senior Director of the Institute program and appreciate you taking the time to join us, whether you're watching live or you are watching the recording. So the purpose of today's session is to share more information about Institute, or IOM for short, and answer any questions that you have and just provide a general overview of the program. We're also joined by some of our volunteer leaders, our summer and winter Board of Regent chairs, and you'll hear from them a little bit later on, as well as some of my colleagues. So a couple of quick housekeeping items. I did mention that this is being recorded. It will be sent out and shared with everyone who has registered. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will have a designated Q&A session at the end. We can also answer questions throughout the session as they come up appropriately. So with that, let's dive in. The Institute, as I mentioned, is sometimes known as IOM for short. In a nutshell, it is a continuing education program for chambers of commerce, associations, and general nonprofit professionals. It is designed to provide an overview of all facets of running a nonprofit organization, and Cece will talk a little bit more about curriculum in a second. It's a national program that takes place at 4 different locations throughout the year, all on college campuses. So that's something that is unique to Institute, is that right from the get-go, you are in a learning environment, actually on campus in the classroom. A little different than your typical conference if you are in a hotel ballroom or something similar like that. And it's an opportunity to learn from industry experts, not only that, but also from your fellow attendees and fellow classmates and volunteers as well. That is another unique element to the Institute program, is the networking and the opportunities to share best practices with each other. There are all different levels of experience as far as the attendees go joining the program. There could be somebody who's brand new in the industry, somebody who's considered a seasoned veteran, and the hope is that those 2 levels will learn from one another. We do hear from attendees that not only are they learning, of course, from our faculty members, but they're learning just as much from their fellow peers and taking advantage of that networking and growing your network and being able to meet people who are in your world, if you will, the Chamber Association nonprofit industry, and exchange war stories and successes and everything that you go through. The chances are that somebody in the room or somebody in the program has experienced something similar. So giving you that opportunity to build your network and be with like-minded, or not like-minded, excuse me, experienced in this industry. So providing you with access to those people. With that, I will pass it over to my colleague Cece, who will share more on curriculum and faculty.
Yeah. So the Institute curriculum is based off 2 bodies of knowledge for the industry certifications. So the CAE for Certified Association Executive for associations, and our Certified Chamber Executive, or CCE, for the chamber side. And in total, finishing the program is 96 hours of continuing nonprofit education. And as Karyn mentioned, that's over the duration of the 4 weeks or the 4 sites, however you choose to complete that. And IOM is a recognition. It's not a certified credential, so that means there's no sitting exam for it. It is based off of attendance and participation throughout the program. And the classes during the week and the whole course of the program will introduce you to a myriad of topics, so anywhere from HR to membership, leadership, non-dues revenue, law, governance, everything you need to know to run a nonprofit organization. And during each week, you'll go through 9 classes, and that's based off of 2 different types. You have core classes, which are set, and elective, which are up to you to choose what topics you'd like to do. And during the week, there are 6 core classes, and these are 3 hours in duration with a 30-minute break. And these are built based on year, so it doesn't necessarily build on each other. So the first week that you're attending is not necessarily more elementary than the fourth week you're attending institute, but it is just to provide a spectrum of introduction to the various topics. And the electives are based again off of your choosing, and this allows you to customize a little bit more of your learning of what courses you're more interested in. We do like to remind attendees that not all classes are applicable perhaps right now, but the intent of it is to provide you with what you need to know of what other departments, and this may be something you might use later down the road, or might help you in your role to understand what a colleague or another department is working on towards the mission of the organization. And our faculty are those that teach the courses, and these are subject matter experts that are both practitioners, so those that are working in chambers and associations and nonprofits, and we have consultants who are consulting in these practices. Many come from a background as practitioners, and experts that, for example, we have lawyers that teach our law classes and CPAs who teach our finance classes. And we have U.S. Chamber of Foundation and U.S. Chamber staff that teach some of those courses as well. And we have a myriad. Some faculty have been with the program for over 20 years, and we continually bring in new faculty as well. And one thing I would say is one of the best feedback we get is the peer-to-peer learning. As Karyn mentioned, you're really having the opportunity to network and meet people in the same industry or that are going through something similar. So it really is that peer-to-peer sharing that is just as important as what our faculty are teaching. So with that said, I will turn it over to Sam to go over some of our fees and enrollments.
Thank you so very much, Cece, for sharing that wonderful information. So yes, I'm going to talk to you about really just cost and money. And we're going to begin with IOM tuition rates for chamber members versus non-members. Now, please keep in mind that the numbers you see on your screen are based on chamber membership and are also tuition costs if you were to enroll by the early enrollment deadline for your site. Now, on the slide, there's also each early enrollment deadline for our summer sites, and tuition does increase by $200 for each site after each site's corresponding deadline. So tuition will increase for Midwest on May 8th. It will increase for Southeast on June 5th, and so forth. So a very important point is that tuition for chamber members is based on membership level. This ranges from $1,595 for signature to $1,095 for elite. Now, for non-members, it is $1,995. So if you're unsure about your membership status, or if you would like to consider getting a membership, please reach out to us. A lot of people do decide that this benefit is enough to invest in a membership as a result of how much you do save on IOM tuition. Now, depending on your membership level, your benefits will range to either being hosted by us in DC to meet with certain experts to having access to a grassroots advocacy network from around the country. So if you're interested in that, I do implore you to reach out to Chip Hanlon and also John, depending on if you are a chamber or an association, or you can reach out to us at the IOM inbox and I will connect you to the right people. So now we do have also another enrollment incentive going on, and that is the multi-site discount. So hypothetical situation here. Say that someone from your organization finds out that you are planning to go to Institute, and they come up to you and they're like, wow, no way. I am also going to Institute. That's crazy. Well, you then become eligible for the multi-site discount. So after the first student from an organization enrolls, each additional student who enrolls from that organization can receive a discount of $200. Oh, sorry, $300. It doesn't matter if it is you and one other person or you and 20 others. Each additional person will receive that discount after the first person enrolls at regular price for your organization. Now, in a very similar sense, we also offer the multi-site discount to those who are attending more than one site in a calendar year. So, for example, if you enrolled in 2026 winter this past January at regular price, and then you enroll in one of our summer sites, you also will receive a $300 discount for tuition on your second, third, or fourth site. So if you're eligible for that discount, please reach out to us at IOM at US Chamber, and I will send you that discount code that you will need to register for that discount. So once you're registering, choose an email. Also, I do recognize too that that is a lot of information and it can be a little confusing. So if you have any sort of questions about the discount process or the registration process, please email us those as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over back to Karyn, and she's going to talk about scholarships, which means more money. Yes.
Exactly. Thank you, Sam. So we do offer a variety of scholarships officially through Institute. We have the National Scholarship, which is offered to first years only. So unfortunately, if you are returning, you are not eligible for national. Your organization also does need to be a U.S. Chamber member. But there are Regent Scholarship opportunities that are open for all 4 years, as well as all levels of membership status or non-member. So that is not part of consideration for the Regent Scholarship. And those are all funded by on-site fundraising efforts, like the silent auction or direct donations the year prior, and any other direct donations. There's an opportunity to donate during the registration process. The important thing about the Regent scholarships to know is that they stay at the specific site in which the funds were raised. We also have merch available specific to each site. That's another opportunity to contribute to the scholarship fund, and in return you get to wear something cool IOM branded. But those scholarships are awarded from individual site scholarship committees that are comprised of different members of the Board of Regents at that individual site. They are mainly financial needs based. So the committee has an opportunity to look at the applications, and the names are hidden. So we're trying to control as much create an opportunity that eliminates bias, and those are awarded based on financial need. And then the last opportunity is the State Partner Scholarship, and this is also for first year attendees only. And these are awarded by each state's either CCE or SAE organization. And they are partner with Institute to help promote the program. And in return, they have an opportunity to award a $500 tuition-based scholarship to a first year of their choosing. So that is something that if you are involved with your state organization, definitely look into that. Sometimes the state organizations also have individual additional scholarships that are outside of Institute's formal process. And of course, we don't have anything to do with running that, but I do know that they exist. So definitely I would look into additional funding opportunities. Another thing that we have heard more and more of, it's not necessarily a scholarship, but if you are looking for additional outside of the box ways to help fund your tuition, we encourage you to look to your members or organizations in your community. We have heard from multiple attendees and volunteers that this is how they had their first year or multiple years funded, is that they had a local utility company or another member business actually sponsor their tuition. And then in coming back from Institute, implementing the ideas and sharing all the information, the members or I should say the board was able to see the ROI from having sent that person, and then they were able to budget it into future years budgets so that they could support sending attendees. So did want to make sure to mention that as well as another opportunity for funding. As far as the applications go for the summer, we have closed them. Everything is handled before the registration actually opens. So since registration is open now, those scholarships have been awarded, and the recipients, or I should say all applicants, have been notified. However, looking ahead to our winter site, our registration is going to launch in late August, and the scholarship application will be available in early to mid-July. So we will we will send out lots of information promoting that. If you are thinking of attending winter and or applying for a scholarship, just keep that in mind, that will launch in the next couple of months. And again, you will receive information on that. So That's it for scholarships. Moving on to our sites and dates, referencing the 2026 summer sites, and you'll hear again more about that from our regent chairs. But that is the dates listed there. There's a hyperlink. You can click on that and receive more information about that specific site. But I'm going to tell you that each site's curriculum is the same. So Institute has this body of knowledge, as Cece mentioned, that is the same for all 4 sites. And it is up to the faculty member how they deliver that information. And then obviously the discussion in the class based on who is in the class will change slightly as well. But at the core base of it, the curriculum is the same. What is different is the site culture. So going to turn it over to our regent chairs in a minute to talk about that. But before I do that, I did just want to mention that there really is no wrong way to attend Institute, or no wrong way to Institute, as I like to say. It is up to you what works with your schedule, with your budget, with your personal life, with your work responsibilities, whatever makes the most sense. I will say that pre-pandemic, we had a larger group of people who would choose to stay at the same site every year and do that 1 week for 4 consecutive years. We did have a smaller group of what we call fast trackers, and that means attending multiple sites in a given calendar year. Since the pandemic, we've actually noticed that that group is expanding, and more people are attending multiple sites in a given calendar year. So there is no wrong way to do it. If you were to do the accelerated rate, we recommend doing winter and then a summer site, and then winter and then a summer site. So that way you're able to complete the program in 2 years. However, if that doesn't work for you, if you'd like to do 2 in a given calendar year, or excuse me, 3, or maybe even all 4, it's a lot of time to be out of the office. It is a big financial commitment. It's also taking in a lot of information in a shortened time period. So it's a lot. However, if that works for you, then all the more power to you. As I said, there's no wrong way to do it. So with that, I will stop talking and let our volunteers share a little bit more about their individual site and kind of what makes them unique. We'll start just chronologically with the summer. We'll start with Justin Groenert in IOM CCE. He is the chair of our Midwest site, and he is with the Evansville Regional Economic Partnership. So Justin, please take it away.
Thank you, Karyn, and happy Masters Week to all those who celebrate. I made some pimento cheese for the office today, and I'm happy to be with you. Obviously, we are gearing up for May 31st. It is coming quick. We are now within 1 calendar month of our Midwest week. We are really excited. Our Board of Regents, I think, really leans into not only the uniqueness of Madison, but into the concept of Midwest Nice. We even have a little acronym for Midwest Nice: notice, invite, connect, and encourage. So we really try to be inclusive, really bring that genuine hospitality that people expect in the Midwest, to really sort of lean into everyone that comes to Institute, strengthening the leadership, building community, inspiring collaboration amongst not only the regents, but the class advisors and all of the participants. So we really think it's a great site. The weather's great. Madison in June is fantastic. It's never rarely too hot. It's never rarely too cold, but you might want to get into the store and buy a vest, because you never know if you're going to need an extra layer somewhere. And that helps with our scholarships as well. So again, we are really excited. Midwest is a great place. I was fortunate enough to go there for 4 years. I think one of the unique things about this program too is while all 4 of our sites are relatively competitive with each other, I think Paige will probably start throwing elbows here in a second. We actually do talk quite a bit. And I think one of the things that you'll find is if you are a fast tracker, you will find similar vibes of hospitality and even some best practices amongst sites as you go. So I'm really honored to be the chair this year. I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing in Madison, and hope that you have considered at least to come to Midwest.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin. And moving over to Southeast, we have Paige Hutto, IOM, with the Chamber of Commerce Association of Alabama.
Hello,
And Paige,
good
I'm
afternoon.
sorry, everyone is the chair of their site. So Paige is chair of Southeast.
So, hello everybody, and happy Masters Week again. You know, the Masters is held in that great state of Georgia, the same state as Southeast Institute, held at the University of Georgia each summer. And yes, we are, to Justin's point, we are very competitive, but it's very friendly competition. Because Karyn said it, and I will just reiterate, there is no wrong way to institute. I graduated many years pre-pandemic and from Southeast, and have spent all of my institute years at Southeast, and so I'm very loyal to our site. But I will say that getting to know all of the other sites and the regent chairs and learning about each site, you really can't go wrong. And I know that you guys are expecting me to throw punches here, but I'm not. I'm just going to say pick the best site that is right for you. But a few things if you do come to Southeast. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on, which is, I think, is probably an institute wide, but we are very welcoming at Southeast. Our regents, our class advisors are very visible. You will know who your regents are. You're going to walk in on Sunday to a great tailgate, a great welcome kickoff party to really set the tone for the week. We are high energy, not scary most days, high energy, but we want you to enjoy your time together. We want to connect people across, not just the people in their class, because to Karyn and Justin's point, we are seeing more and more people fast tracking, but really just being intentional about making sure that you attend and you meet all of your class members, but you also meet other attendees in other classes, definitely meeting the regents. So Southeast we are known for being that really high energy. One of the great things about Southeast, which I thought was just universal, but is a selling point for me, we are fortunate that all of the classes are held at the UGA Center, which is also the hotel. So we are very condensed. It's a great campus for walking around. Athens is a fantastic city, but you are in one location for lodging for most. There are some offsite as well, but everything's really condensed and right there together in one building. So I just encourage you, come see me and the rest of the regents in Athens this summer, and hope that we can see you and start your institute journey.
Thank you, Paige. And the last side of our summer, we have at Northeast, our chair is Heath Barret, ION CCE, the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance. Heath.
Thanks, Karyn. As you've already heard, there's no wrong way to institute, but I am a little partial to Northeast. I want you to think about being just west of downtown Philly, a couple of hours from New York City, and really just the beauty of the Northeast region of the country. You're going to get that at Villanova. So we encourage you to take a look at the Northeast site. I think the Northeast site is going to have more association registrations than the other sites. You're going to have chambers and associations that you'll be able to really build your professional network with, just like you do at the other sites. Probably the dress code for Northeast, I would say polished, but not corporate stiff. We encourage you to maybe consider bringing a blanket for your classes, because even though it's the end of July and it's hot outside, it's normally a little cool in the classrooms, and that's not a bad thing. It helps keep you awake. As far as housing is concerned, we have attendees that stay on campus, and we also have attendees that stay just off campus at the Radnor Hotel. So either one of those options are going to be available for you. I prefer the hotel lifestyle over the campus lifestyle, but that's just me, personal opinion. A lot of good shopping, a lot of good dining opportunities, but really you're coming to Institute to build your network and to learn from instructors and faculty that are really the experts in our industry. But you're going to learn from your classmates too at all of the locations. So really pick the one that's best for you. Come see us at Northeast, and we'd love to see you there.
Great. Thank you, Heath. And last but certainly not least, because of the time of the year we're at, oftentimes winter is first. But in this case, we are looking ahead to 2027, and our chair is Chris Vermer, IOM, with the Vail Valley Partnership. Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Karyn. And thanks, Heath, Paige, and Justin for stealing every single one of my talking points. I will share that I was one who did 3 different sites over the course of my institute journey to back to the theme of there's no wrong way to do this. And representing the Winter Institute site in Tucson, as mentioned earlier, it's all on college campuses. University of Arizona is a great place. And being able to go to Arizona in January is really appealing for a lot of the country. So we would welcome you there. Our theme, building on the pattern of hospitality and Midwest nice and polished professional, we really focus on intentionality and being intentional in our efforts to ensure that those who are fast tracking are welcomed in, to ensure that our association and chamber and nonprofit executives are welcomed in, to ensure that we're really taking good care of folks and being really thoughtful on how we engage the faculty and the regents and the staff and the location. We have some pre-events that we do for folks coming in early, be that golf or dining tours or brunch or other things. But again, all with the idea that you heard from Justin, Paige, and Heath of making meaningful connections, of having a professional development opportunity with your peers and colleagues, and growing your network and growing your depth and breadth of knowledge on how you run your organization. So we really have a good group of regents and class advisors from all over the country, from different industries, much like you see at the other sites. And I'll reiterate that there's no wrong way to do this. It's a really wonderful program. Would encourage everyone to check out the site and dates that work best for you. And if winter is one of those, we'd love to see you there.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you to all of our regent chairs. They're all amazing sites. I'm a little biased, but you can't go wrong no matter where you choose. And Sam, I believe you're going to continue with sharing some resources.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, thank you to the regent chairs and Karyn. Thank you so much. But yes, what can you do now? After this call, what can you do? What can you go do to learn more about the program? What can you look at? So we have some webinars, past webinars that we've had. You can look at the one that was about AI. You can look at the one that is coming up actually and register for it, which is on April 28th on driving economic development. You can go read a few of our blogs. Some of the latest ones right now are about generating non-dues revenue, advocacy, and of course, as always, usually AI. So you can do those things. You can also listen to our podcast, which has gained quite a following since it was launched. The link right there on the slide is to the podcast on Spotify. But if you are a Spotify hater, as I am, you can also find it wherever you get your podcasts. So you can also look at our All You Need to Know flyer/document if you want something to hand to your CEO or to your board so they can learn more about IOM. You can give them that. There's also links there to our content and curriculum if you want to take a look at our courses. And if you're interested or someone else is interested, we encourage you to, as always, share the good news of IOM and share the things that you've learned. So there's also a link there to our registration page. Go ahead and get that registration started if you like. If you need some encouragement, the picture right there on the slide of Southeast is amazing and encourages me to go to Southeast. It looks very fun. This stuff is fun, everyone. This is fun. Come have fun. And if you want to stay more informed, you can sign up for our emails. There's a button on our website, institute@uschamber.com. You can also stay up to date on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a very active LinkedIn community that is thriving, as most professionals should. And yes, those are the resources that you can use today to make changes tomorrow and to impact your future for the better. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Karyn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sam. And the last thing before we close it up is just we encourage you to register. Again, pick whichever site works best for you and your schedule. There's no wrong way to do it. Just a reminder there of the summer dates and the links to the registration pages. As I mentioned previously, we'll be launching the winter registration in late August, and the scholarship application will launch in July. So be on the lookout. If you sign up for our newsletter or follow us on socials, you'll see all of those important dates and everything coming up as they are quickly approaching. And then as far as the registration goes, we do have, as Sam mentioned, the early enrollment dates. So for just to reiterate again, for Midwest, the early enrollment deadline is May 8th. For Southeast, it is June 5th. And for Northeast, it is July 3rd. So tuition will increase by $200 after those dates for the appropriate site. So if you're thinking of registering, you might as well go ahead and do it before those dates hit. So that way you can save $200. So with that, we will open it up to any Q&A. If anyone has anything, please drop it in the chat. And for those who are watching this on the recording in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions or concerns. Our contact info is there on the bottom of that last slide. IOM@uschamber.com is the email, as Sam has referenced, and he will take good care of you, get you all the answers that you need. I will also send out some follow-up communications, and you should receive at least an automated email at the end of this session. So unless there's anything in the chat, I think we can go ahead and wrap this up officially. But thank you, everyone. And thank you especially to our 4 Regent chairs for joining us. And we hope to see you on site in the future, whether it's this summer, next winter, or a future site. So thanks again. And please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Thanks all.